Are you ready to discover 10 more hidden indie gems that were slept on but are absolute must-plays? Well, greetings indie warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Old Gamer Joe, back delivering you more secret indie gaming treasures just as we do each and every Friday. This list has some very special releases that far too many people slept on, so get your clickers ready to tap that wishlist button or add these games to your digital libraries today. But real quick, don't sleep on independent content either. Head over to patreon.com/I Dream of Indie Games. You'll gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, so much more, or maybe grab a YouTube membership. We've got some cool perks there too. Your new indie gaming community can't wait to meet you. First up this week on our Hidden Indie Gems list, we have Mimic Logic, a procedurally generated puzzle roguelike released earlier this year that has so far failed to reach 500 reviews on Steam. Dang it! Players will need to put their deductive skills to the test while dungeon crawling through various mysterious, tricky labyrinths. Discover hidden treasures only to realize that they might have something to say to you, literally. Some of them will give you solid information to go off of, and others, well, they're nasty little liars, aren't they? And you don't want to run into them. Mimic Logic is a surprisingly fun mix of light RPG mechanics and puzzle solving. The game grows more complex the deeper you dive into it. Heck, you might even break into a cold sweat at times. There's a lovely pixelated visual style, great endearing soundtrack, and plenty more to like about Mimic Logic. Those that did play it agree, as it's earned itself a 98% positive rating. This fun, clever, and addicting little indie is just $3.99 and even has a demo for you to try. This one goes out to all you bullet hell fans out there. It's the excellent shoot-'em-up Bullet Heaven 2, a spin-off of the epic battle fantasy series. Just as you would expect, you'll be tasked with learning intense patterns, carefully weaving through projectiles while blasting down a cute assortment of enemies through 70 insanely bonkers levels. I guess we could technically call this a bullet hell cute-'em-up? Whatever, bottom line is that the game is jam-packed with content featuring 8 different, uniquely entertaining characters to play as. There's tons of different weapons and outfits to unlock, mouse and keyboard support to give yourself an advantage that you'll almost certainly need, cheats, difficulty options, just so much content here for the price. There's even local co-op so you can duck and weave alongside a friend or 2 or 3. That's right, up to 4 players. Damn, throwing an amazing soundtrack and fun sense of humor, and it's one game you won't want to miss out on. The game is normally priced at $14.99, but does have the occasional sale and is often included in bundles. A shame to see it only mustered just over 400 reviews. Love is in the air with our next release, Love Ghostie, which sadly didn't receive all that much love in the indie gaming scene. I guess you could say it got ghosted. This adorable matchmaking sim has you controlling a ghost, surprise, who helps residents find their, well, soulmates. It features 12 different characters to interact with, 60 different pairing options, and overall just has a good vibe to it, despite the whole, spooky thing. It's cute and spooky. Players are able to give gifts to love interests, assign various chores, and more as they carefully manage action points. There's a good amount to unlock here too, with no shortage of different minigames to partake in. If you tire of the many dark, bloody, violent games out there, well then Love Ghostie offers something calming, addicting, and engaging. There's a little something here for fans of games like The Sims and beyond. Hopping right along, we have a Souls-like Metroidvania FPS adventure game. Yes, all of those tags apply. This is Frogmonster, a game that only achieved around 400 or so Steam reviews, but has a heck of a lot of ambition behind it. This super experimental indie release has a quirky voxel art style that might be a bit off-putting to some, but don't let it fool you. Looks aren't everything after all. Besides, some people are all about them voxels, just saying. Controlling a frog across an alien planet, you'll take down 30 challenging bosses, solve tricky brain benders, upgrade an arsenal of awesome weapons, and explore freely, with the game being quite non-linear. Unlock new abilities like in many Metroidvania games, and see if you can survive some very challenging tactical combat. It's not the most well-refined indie on the market, but its ambition is admirable and the game is well worth grabbing. Get it before you croak, time is precious and should be spent playing good video games. With under 300 reviews on Steam, the next hidden indie gem on this list is Repella Fella. Sounds like they cast repellent on gaming fans. More should have played it. This is a choose-your-own adventure point-and-click game taking place in a very different kind of Australia. The game may seem a bit dark on the surface, but it has a good sense of humor too. Following nuclear war, the world is now much different, but you must adapt to that. You'll see this story from a few different perspectives as you advance, and there are plenty of branching story paths to warrant multiple playthroughs. Some players out there have compared the visuals to the popular show South Park, and you can definitely definitely see some of that influence. A bit over the top, violent, but ultimately memorable, Repella Fella is more than worthy of a list such as this. Its normal price is $17.99, and there's a demo available to try out for yourselves. Boy, this next game really quacks me up. A duck-themed platformer. It's Duck Souls. I see what they did there. This is a very fast and frantic 2D platformer that puts you in the shoes or webbed feet of a tiny little duckling on a quest to recover lost eggs. There's over 100 levels that will test your precision platforming skills. You'll need to avoid traps, spikes, bullets, just about everything that gets in your way. The game has some lovely simplistic pixel art, a fun overall vibe and setting, good challenge to it, and even some cosmetics worth unlocking. Just adorable. There's even a few difficulty options if the going gets too tough. Perhaps most importantly though, it feels really good to play. If you like games like Celeste, this one shouldn't be overlooked any longer. It only received 288 reviews, and it's priced at just $1.99. Have you ever stopped and wondered, gosh, it would be nice to play a game with old school FPS mechanics that has a really fast pace and kinda feels like a runner too? That was a long-winded way of me making a joke about our next game's title, EverStopped, which is all of the things that I just mentioned, but also has a great arcade feel to it. Taking place in a dark future where the US continues to battle the Soviets, you are a soldier learning the ropes, going through a variety of obstacle courses while taking down targets and avoiding dangers that get in your path. Controls are really good here with very precise aiming mechanics, but more than that, it's a blast to play throughout. Don't get eliminated. Anyone remember that show? I still watch it from time to time. You'll be hopelessly addicted if you grab this one for just $4.99. I sure wish more people had played it though. Let's change that narrative. One glance at TETRACHROMA and you probably have a good idea of what it's inspired by, but it's a very fun game in its own right, one that only received a bit over 100 reviews. Also inspired by Reversied, the goal is not just to stack blocks, but to also match colors. In order to successfully clear lines, each block needs to match the color next to it, making for a very tricky game to master. There's quite a few different modes as well that range from Spectrum to Marathon. TETRACHROMA has a very cool retro visual design, and of course, there will be plenty of high scores to both set and attempt. Everyone that's played this one loves it, but sadly, just not enough people did. I always try to highlight a hidden indie gem puzzle game each week, so add this one to your library as well. You will not regret it, or you can come yell at me if you do. You know, as someone who grew up with a border collie that sadly went blind, part of me couldn't help but fall in love with Farewell North. In this narrative adventure, you'll see things through the eyes of Chesley and Kaylee as they explore the beautiful highlands together. There is some light puzzle solving and exploration to be done, yes, but for the most part, Farewell North is a very chill, guided experience. It touches on some emotional themes, has gorgeous visuals, and even a few minigames to tackle. Now, it only takes a few sessions to get through, just make sure you have some tissues handy though. And the audio, it's jaw-dropping, or ear-opening, I guess you could say. I was surprised to see it only had around 400 or so reviews, but at least they were all very positive. I reviewed the game here at the channel as well, so be sure to check that out if you'd like to learn more about it. Alright, let me pull at your heartstrings one last time before we get out of here for the week. Let's go with 7 Years From Now, a very emotional gut punch of a game that might leave you in tears just like the last game. Sorry, I know the last two were a bit of a downer, but the best kind of downer, damn it. While 7 Years From Now does have mobile roots, don't let that scare you off. Haruto is a teenager that is coming back home after, 7 years, to come through on a promise that was made. You'll traverse through time, unraveling a deeper, darker mystery. The voxel art is simple but charming, but it's the storytelling here that will really draw you in. A memorable experience well worth having, in my humble opinion. And that's gonna do it for this week, folks. We hope you found the next indie game of your dreams. Voice to the voiceless. Subscribe, do all those good things, and keep it locked to I Dream of Indie Games.